Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, did you know that when Chuck Norris was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital?
You drove her home from the hospital?
Yes.
That's impressive.
I know, right? He probably had a full beard, too.
Full beard?
Yeah.
Full beard.
Yeah. And did you know that Chuck Norris could divide by zero?
This, I did know this one, but I'm also a math teacher, so I need to know these certain Chuck Norris jokes.
Yes, and I'm sure that that you use those well in your math class.
Yes.
But yes, that's right. We are continuing our Chuck Norris tribute with another episode. One episode was not enough for the legend.
Not enough.
That is Chuck Norris.
We had to do two. We had to do a second one. And this is one that I recall us watching.
Yes, me too. Yes.
I have fond memories of us watching this one.
Too. Me too.
A scene.
We'll
get to it later.
We will get to it.
We had to stop it multiple times.
And rewatch it.
Rewind it.
Rewatch that one shot. It was wonderful.
It was wonderful. And it was wonderful again. Not quite as wonderful because
you knew it was coming.
We were in the same room together.
Yeah, that too.
But now we're talking about it, and so it's still wonderful.
Yeah. It will always be wonderful. It's one of my favorite shots in any movie, and we will get to that eventually in this episode.
It's a great shot, and it's this very iconic Chuck Norris.
Yes.
And so I think it's so appropriate that we are doing this to honor him.
I agree. And yes, the movie that we were talking about today is the 1984 Chuck Norris classic, Missing in Action.
Which is actually part of like a trilogy.
Yes, it is. It's the first in a trilogy.
Even though originally it was not supposed to be the first.
Really?
My understanding was that they filmed this kind of back to back with the second.
Okay.
And I can't recall exactly what it was that convinced them to flip the order of them.
Okay.
But that's what happened.
Huh. Interesting. So yes, the first time we both saw this movie was when we watched it together. And did we watch it more than that one time?
I think we probably watched it.
I think we watched it at least twice, if not 3 times. But I haven't seen it since we last watched it together.
Yes, exactly.
And that was years and years ago.
And this is one that came in after Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yes,
right?
a year after
his next film, right? And it was successful enough at the box office. You know, it kind of helped cement himself as being more than just that martial arts guy, that he could carry an action movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly, I guess it's finding the time to rewatch a movie, and I would kind of regret it not having watched it again.
Me too.
I think after having watched it closely with Lone Wolf McQuade, I probably prefer Lone Wolf McQuade over this. That doesn't make this a bad movie.
Yeah, I could maybe agree to that. I mean, the last half hour of this movie was fantastic.
Yes,
but it does.
I think there's a few plotting issues.
There are some plotting issues with this one.
And I love this. I love the wonderful, colorful characters that we were introduced to.
Yes.
There are other good characters in this movie. Does not filled out as much. Like Emmett Walsh is the only other kind of a large role.
Yeah.
Save for a few kind of antagonists, but largely the antagonists are just other random soldiers.
Yeah.
Right? It's really more about his mission. That's the main objective in this movie. And it's kind of part of a subgenre of kind of action war movies that kind of littered throughout the early mid 80s of kind of capturing, rescuing POWs.
Yeah.
Which is again, because it has been a while since I watched this, it's kind of kind of one of those things that we've kind of thought about a little bit as the years have progressed and other things have happened, whether it be other wars or other major events, right? But throughout the late 70s, the 80s, early mid 90s, that shadow of the Vietnam was always there.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that definitely takes place in that, right? It's we call it an action movie, but it has that war flavor because he's going basically back into that combat zone.
Yeah, he is.
And it largely works well. Mm-hmm. And like you said, like the last 20, 30 minutes of this movie is like this all out guns firing.
Yeah, it's a one-man war.
Things blowing up.
I mean, this movie maybe should have been called Lone Wolf McQuade rather than Lone Wolf McQuade, because he's much more of a lone wolf in this movie than he was in that one.
I did have that thought also. It ends up being different, right? So this is something that I wanted to bring up about Lone Wolf was that this movie is an R. It's definitely an R.
Yes.
And not just because of the violence.
No.
There's a couple of small little scenes.
Mm-hmm. A couple of small little scenes with big old titties.
But Lone Wolf McQuade, again, this was 1982. It got a PG rating.
Mm-hmm.
That Chuck Norris lobbied. Again, I'm sorry, 83. Chuck Norris lobbied for, right? It originally had an R for violence.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that was also back in a time when there was nothing between PG and R.
Exactly. And so he basically his his argument beyond there not being a lot of blood was that his character was inspiring.
That he was.
And that's what it's enough to convince the MPAA. Like, all right, we'll give you a PG.
That's what won him over.
And his character is kind of inspiring in this movie too.
Yes, he is.
But this rightfully gets an R. So, and then it would be long after this would come out that finally they would have that PG-13 rating.
Yes.
So, but anyway, which probably is what Lone Wolf McQuade probably would fit into. This is an R-rated movie.
Yeah. Even if the PG-13 rating had existed at the time, this still would have been an R.
Yes. It'd be an R just for its poster.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a great poster, though. I love that poster.
I love it. It might be my favorite Chuck Norris poster.
I think it might be mine, too. Even better than Sidekicks.
It's even it's spewing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's spewing.
We can leave it at that.
Yep.
Go look up the poster.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's a Chuck Norris action military movie through and through. It's pure 80s type movie just based off of that.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's a hell of a movie. But beyond Emmett Walsh, I always love when Emmett Walsh is anything.
I do something too.
In the
80s. He is great.
You knew you were in for a treat.
Yes. And it's funny that, so Emmett Walsh is in this movie, who was also in Blade Runner.
Yes.
Last time when we talked about Lone Wolf McQuade, William Sanderson was in that movie, who was also in Blade Runner.
Good point.
So, how many more movies did Chuck Norris do with people from Blade Runner? Did he just love that movie and he wanted to work with everybody in it?
That's a good question.
Why wasn't there ever a Chuck Norris and Harrison Ford movie?
Why did he never work with Ridley Scott?
That's another good question. Edward James Olmos.
We are planning to do Blade Runner one of these days.
Yes, we are. We are planning on doing Blade Runner.
So that is a favorite here.
Which version of Blade Runner do we do?
Which version? Gotta stay tuned to find
out. There's like 15 of them now.
Yeah, there's so many. So this movie also has Lenora Castorf as kind of one of the other main roles, and then James Hong.
I always love seeing James Hong and stuff.
Yes, it's like he's not really the primary like antagonist, but he is probably the most noteworthy of the antagonists.
Yeah, James Hong is just great.
Yes, he is. I like his Wikipedia photo is him holding up a cover of Big Trouble in Little China.
Nice. Which he was the main antagonist in that one.
Yes, he was. But, again, he was in Blade Runner. He was also in Airplane.
Yes,
right?
Yes, that's World right. Too. He was in Blade Runner. So 2 people from Blade Runner in this movie.
Did you know he was in Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise?
I did not know that, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's one I have not seen. I've seen the first Revenge of the Nerds, but I have not seen Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise.
The second one either. And then lastly, before we kind of jump into it, Jean-Claude Van Damme's in this movie.
Yes, he is. But we can't forget James Hong's greatest role.
Oh,
Balls of Fury.
Yes. Balls of Fury. It's been forever since I've seen that movie, to be honest.
But yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in this movie.
But he's basically a stuntman. He's like a soldier. He's one of the he's doing stunts as an soldier, as an extra.
Yeah.
So kind of one of those background guys you see. Especially in the action-oriented movie, a lot of those background guys that are extras are kind of stuntmen.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the guys that got blown away at the beginning of Lone Wolf McQuade when he's just mowing them down.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a nice addition to the filmography and canon of Chuck Norris.
Yes, and it's an
him through and through.
It's an excellent example of just a good, fun Chuck Norris movie.
And this is another movie where, again, because he does spend a lot of this movie by himself, and he's brooding in a lot of this movie. It doesn't require him to have a lot of range, right? But it fits him perfectly.
Yeah, it does.
So I think this. Yeah, I think this is a. I'm glad we're following up with this one because it's a little different than Lone Wolf McQuade, which is kind of again that neo-western. Now this is more of that kind of war combat. Chuck Norris movie.
Yeah.
So they fit nicely within kind of what people would have expected from him at that time, and how he grew his legend.
Yes.
Or how his legend grew. So, but yeah. I don't know if I have much else to say about that for right now.
I don't either.
We jump into it.
I say let's just get into it.
All right, then.
As always, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you've not seen it, you don't want to be spoiled, pause the podcast, watch the movie, come back and listen. If you have seen it, or you just don't mind being spoiled, keep on listening, but you have been warned. You're going to spoil every bit of Chuck Norris awesomeness in this movie.
Yes, we will. And that awesomeness starts early in this movie.
Yes, it does.
We're plopped right into the Vietnamese jungle.
Yes. We were plopped right into the Vietnamese jungle. We don't start out with, a lone wolf walking across the desert.
And it's not really even him first. It's other soldiers that we see first.
It is other soldiers that we see first. And, they're right in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Yeah. And they're trying to escape out to this rendezvous point where the choppers are gonna meet them, right? And they're gonna kind of rescue them out from where the Viet Cong are trying, shooting across the, they're going through, across rivers, up ridges, and trying to get to this clearing, right? And shots are going off, and they're seeing the choppers come in, right?
But nobody yells, "Get to the chopper!" Although if they did, it would be Chuck Norris just calmly saying, "Get to the chopper."
It's hard not just any movie with a helicopter, especially if people are ready to it.
Yep.
Like, even Jurassic Park, they're just escaping from the control room after the T-Rex has just chowed down on a couple of velociraptors.
Yep.
He's right. Arnold's right there, just to help utter that line.
Yep.
Anyway, and it kind of looks like we eventually do see Chuck Norris as one of these soldiers.
Yes,
trying to get there. He seems like he's kind of one of the commanding officers.
Yeah, he's a colonel.
Rally all of them, right? And we finally get that. We see the choppers land. Some people get on, some are getting up, and some of these guys are getting shot before they can get the chopper, right?
Chopper. And then so the choppers start taking off, and then this is when we actually start to see Chuck Norris.
Yeah, now we really
a couple of choppers have taken off, and so Chuck Norris is
we finally get him into
heading
the action
toward
now.
the LZ with a couple of other soldiers. And one of them gets shot and falls, so he picks him up and he throws him over his shoulder. And so he's got his M16 in one hand, and he's got this guy over his other shoulder. And he's just running through the jungle, shooting at Viet Cong. And then, he starts getting shot at. So, he puts the guy down, and he's sort of ducked behind a tree. And at one point in here, like at one point in this battle, right, the Vietnamese soldiers are shooting mortars. And one guy takes a direct hit.
Yeah.
One guy takes a direct hit from a mortar. He just disappears.
There is no Saeed.
Not yet. We haven't done our Lost podcast yet. But anyway, so at one point, Chuck Norris, he's trying to help his guys, right? He's trying to help his men, and he makes his way up into this little tree house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just this watchtower basically that's up in the trees, a little bit higher than everybody else.
The description.
And there's these two Vietnamese soldiers that are down there, just
that's right,
trying to mow down his guys. So, on his vest, he's got some grenades. So he takes two of the grenades off of his vest, one in each hand, pulls the pins, and figures, he's probably going to die anyway trying to get to the chopper, so he just jumps out of this watchtower.
He gets out this guttural noise.
Yes.
And the one guy's bayoneting one of the guys that's on the ground.
Yeah, and he just keeps on poking them. He just keeps poking the guy with the bayonet. He's not stabbing and slicing or anything. He just keeps poking him in the same spot.
Hey, you awake there, bud? You awake? I was until you killed me with the bayonet.
But yeah, so Chuck Norris just dives out of this this watchtower,
There's something about it.
holding 2 grenades.
And, his legs are out, his knees are out, extended out. He's got the 2 grenades. He's got the Chuck Norris beard, and he's growling at these guys as he jumps out.
Yes. And I'm convinced that his beard is what protected him from the explosion. Because he falls down there, and then you just see this big explosion. And then he wakes up in his bed at home, back in America.
Yep. And he's in this little, like, kind of cheap, like, 1-bedroom, like, apartment, right? And, he turns the TV on, there's the news, and it's like the summer. He's got a little wall AC, like hotel AC wall type unit.
And they're talking, the news, they're talking about these soldiers that were missing in action in the Vietnam War. And
right. And there's a debate about, are there still soldiers that
are there still soldiers
POWs?
that are over there that are POWs? And there's one proponent for the possibility that there are still POWs there, and that is Colonel Braddock.
And we realized that he was a POW for some time before finally being able to. Is he escape or they let him go? I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to remember that too.
No, he was there for several years after we got out of Vietnam. And then he came home, and again, they're led to believe this is a big news story when he gets home after being released. And this has become a thing where he still believes that Vietnam is not telling the Vietnamese government's not telling the truth. Yeah. There are more American soldiers being held captive in POW camps.
Yeah. Because while he's sitting there watching the news, he looks out the window and he has another flashback.
He has another flashback. And they're all kind of being, these soldiers, or all these prisoners, American soldiers that are prisoners, are just being kind of led on this march.
Yeah. They're being led through this river. And he's one of them. And the Vietnamese soldiers start picking on one of his guys.
Yep.
They're threatening to shoot him. And so Braddock, Chuck Norris, tells him, no, take me instead. And they didn't listen to him. They shot the other guy.
Of course they didn't.
But yeah, so they're being led down this river in a line. Basically being used as a human shield. Yeah,
right.
Against the American forces that are in the area. Because the Americans start firing mortars over at them, at the Vietnamese. And they're landing real close to where these POWs are walking. And then we get back to the apartment, back to the present day.
Yep. And the, it's still, the newscast is still on. And there's this U.S. senator that is going to be leading this diplomatic trip over to Vietnam to talk about this issue, right?
Yeah.
And he has his aide that's with him. He's talking about they want Braddock to,
they want Braddock to come with them, but he has said no, he doesn't want to go. And then it no longer is. Then does he change the channel, or is it just what's on next?
It's what's on next. I think I can't remember where it is. But
so the news broadcast changes. It ends, and now Spider-Man is on.
Oh, it's Spider-Man. Yes.
Yes, the Spider-Man cartoon is on, and so he's watching Spider-Man swing through the city. You hear Stan Lee's voice.
Yep.
His narration, and then it's like a light bulb comes on in Braddock's head. But next thing we see, he is out meeting with the senator.
Well, before he does that, he decides he needs to finish off this TV, and he
that's right.
Kicks his TV.
Yes. He kicks the TV and blows it up. Have a TV explosion.
And then he's meeting with like the senator. So he's agreeing to go to Vietnam, right? And we see them kind of meeting at this airfield, right, before they get on a plane to fly over to Vietnam.
And the senator asks him, he's like, "Hey, so what was it that changed your mind? I thought you were going to come." And I really wish he would have said Spider-Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man would have been a great line.
He really should have said that.
No.
Nope, he just said, that's for me to know. Like, don't worry about it.
So, they get over to Vietnam, and
yeah. So you have David Tress as Senator Porter, and then Lenore Kastorf as Anne.
Plays Anne Fitzgerald. He's
sort of the senator's aide.
So
she goes along with them on the plane.
And they land, right? And the typical thing, diplomatic, kind of welcoming, right? And Anne's there when this gets off, and there's he sees this one guy, right? He's kind of got this he's kind of got this pot belly, and he's got this goatee going on, and he's looking at him.
And we recognize him.
Recognize that guy?
We recognize him because he was in the flashback. Yes. He was the dude that was the head of the prison camp.
This is General Vin, played by Ernie Ortega, right? And he has another flashback of him torturing Braddock. I was like, yeah, he held me captive. He's telling her about this. So and then they kind of he meets also before they kind of go into the meeting. Kind of the lead, one of the kind of the high-ranking general there,
General Tran, played by James Hong.
James Hong, right? And he's trying to be a bit diplomatic, but Chuck Norris is not diplomatic.
No, you can tell he just wants to roundhouse kick this guy, but he doesn't do it. Yet.
So yet. We finally get into the meeting. The media is there, right? We got media, American media, probably media from all over the world, right? It's a big thing, right? They got cameras, they got video cameras as well, and General Tran is leading this meeting, right?
So basically, General Tran has been wanting Braddock to come out and answer for the war crimes that he committed during Vietnam. During the Vietnam War,
they bring out this.
He won't go into specifics about what the war crimes are.
He won't. He
just keeps on saying he committed war crimes.
War
crimes.
But yeah, and so he brings out all these peasants that are going to testify against him.
Who are clearly under duress.
Clearly, and Braddock gets up and he kind of walks down the line, gets to the last guy, and the guy kind of heads his head and doesn't want to make eye contact
because he's just he just walks up and he's just staring at each of them, just that Chuck Norris stare.
And he's like, "I don't want to do this. They forced me to do this." And Chuck Norris is he looks at him, he has that recognition.
He's okay.
Telling him I don't know, it's okay, it's okay.
I won't roundhouse kick you. So General Tran, orders that they, get him away from the peasants.
Yep.
Because he's upsetting them.
He's clearly upsetting them, right?
So,
and they continue to deny that there's any POWs, and that anyone that was held was guilty of a war crime, right? They keep kind of going into that line of defense.
And now they want to lock Braddock up for his war crimes.
But they know they can't. Right? Because that would be a very tricky situation. So, but they're looking for that opportunity. They're looking for that opportunity.
Yeah.
But we cut to the after party, the dinner.
Yes, the after party.
They're there, and everyone's really dressed nicely, and Chuck Norris is dressed like Chuck Norris.
Every tribunal needs an after party.
Exactly. And everyone else is trying to have this nice conversation and be diplomatic about it.
Speaking of the way Chuck Norris is dressed, we didn't even mention when they're on the plane, the senator was talking to Anne, and he doesn't think that Braddock should be going with them. He doesn't think that he's going to be effective. I mean, just look at the way he's dressed.
That's right.
Right as Chuck Norris walks up to him. It's the whole, he's standing behind me, isn't he?
Crap bigger than you. Chuck Norris would crap bigger than him.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
He would crap bigger than Jack Palance, by the way.
Yes, he would. Mm-hmm.
He would crap. He craps a bono.
Why didn't Chuck Norris ever do a movie with Jack Palance?
That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Anyway, so with and he's there talking with Anne and Tran, and Tran's trying to get at him. He's like, it's like, why is it that you left your soldiers? They would have been released if you would have just had recanted of the war crimes that you committed.
Yeah, there he goes again, talking about just general war crimes. What are
general
these
war crimes?
General war crime.
Right. And of course, and Chuck Norris, he's not going to be diplomatic. He's not going to be outright antagonistic yet. And this little dinner ends, and they put them up at this nice little hotel there, and and Anne and him, their rooms are on the same floor. They're basically almost across the hall from each other.
Well, they're down the hall from each other.
Down the hall, yeah.
Because she's sort of got the end room, and he's sort of somewhere in the middle of the hall.
And but they're making sure that they have soldiers keeping track. Well, it's Braddock in particular, right?
Yeah. So
but as they leave, Anne's like, "Oh, you want to come in for like a nightcap?" It's like, "No, I think I'm just going to retire for the evening." And I think she's looking kind of hopeful that he might come in, and he seems like he's just blowing her off, right? So they go to their rooms, but Chuck has a plan.
Yes,
but Braddock has a plan.
Yeah. So Anne has clearly taken a liking to him, like during the party.
Chuck Norris, come on.
Yes, I know. She just wants that beard to tickle her face. Wants the beard to tickle her face. Get your mind out of your pants.
Anyway, and so he goes to his room, and he's changing there. He's doing a few different things, and then he has a change. He has a change of mind. He is going to go over to her room.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he tells her. She asks if he wants to say.
No, he does say no.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you there in a few minutes.
That's what he says. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. So he goes in, and then eventually, he comes back in. And as soon as he gets in the room, he is derobing.
Well, first, she answers the door in a nightgown.
That's right. Yes, she does.
She answers the door in a nightgown, and so he walks in.
She's ready.
And and he brings a bottle of champagne and a couple of glasses from his room. And then so she turns around to walk into the bedroom area of the hotel room, and he just starts stripping.
Yep, he's wearing his boxer briefs.
He takes his shirt
off.
Whoa!
I thought we might have a little bit of a drink first and a conversation, but if you want to get straight to that,
I mean, she's not stopping him. She's not trying to stop him. But yeah, then he starts putting on all black clothes,
a black t-shirt, black pants,
his black sweater.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" Right? And he says, "Like, just wait here. I'll be back."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes out the window.
Yeah, so he goes out the window. And he's on the balcony, and he starts climbing down the balcony. Jumping between balconies,
He's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes,
Except
exactly.
he wears all black.
Yeah.
He doesn't have web shooters.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need web shooters because he's Chuck Norris.
Yep. All of those are accurate statements. So he climbs down, and she's sitting there just watching him go, and then he sort of has to sit there and wait. He's climbing down the drain pipe, and there's some soldiers walking down on patrol below him, so he can't just drop down or they'll see him.
Right.
So Anne grabs one of those champagne flutes, and she just drops it, and it shatters on the ground over in front of her room. So those two soldiers go and check it out. And when they walk around the corner, then he jumps down and moves on through the bushes. So he makes it to the general's mansion.
His mansion, his residence. You know, and
the General Tran's mansion.
And, you know, he makes his way all the way to Tran's room.
Yeah, he sneaks through the house. You know,
Tran sleeps in kind of a classic four-post type bed.
Mm-hmm.
He sleeps kind of like, you know, like Scrooge, right? Chuck Norris gets in there. Braddock gets in there, and he has a question for him. Where are these POWs?
Where are the POWs? But he doesn't just ask him. First, he sneaks up, he pulls his knife out, and puts it right under his chin.
Yeah.
Pokes him just enough to wake him up. And then he asks him where the POWs are. And then, don't lie to me.
I know when you lie. I know a lie. He tells him, I think it's supposed to be the Delta region. Something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then he goes to leave the room. And General Tran, like, he sleeps with a loaded gun in his bed.
Yeah. So he grabs that gun and he points it at Braddock. But Braddock knows what's going on. He sees him draw the gun, and so Braddock just throws that knife, and it sticks Tran right in the chest.
Right in the chest. Perfect shot.
And
falls back.
Tran drops dead. He falls back into his bed. But not before he fires that gun.
Fires that gun. So
and that alerts all the guards.
The guards. And so now he has to sneak out, and, you know, it's kind of this little chase as he gets out of the mansion. And now, you know, the obvious suspect is Braddock.
Yes.
And so he is trying to race everybody back to that hotel. So, and thankfully, this is 1983, where they can't just text the guards or outside his room, like, hey, how about you check on his room to see if he's in there, right?
Nope. The guards have to go from the general's mansion all the way to the hotel so that they can check out his room. And he's on foot.
We kind of get
trying to outrun them, trying to get back there.
We kind of get a reverse as he gets there. He has to kind of sneak back up,
climb back up the balconies, and he comes back into Anne's room.
Just as they are knocking on the door.
Yeah, just as they're knocking on the door. But
he quickly tries to disrobe again.
So he starts stripping down, and he grabs her nightgown and just yanks it down.
He got a quick shot of her boobs. You get a quick side boob shot, right?
And so then sort of pushes her into the bed, throws her into the bed, and climbs in there, pulls the covers up over him.
It pulls the covers over.
And then the soldiers break open the door.
They don't even wait. They just break open.
Open the door, and he just turns and glares at them. Like they just interrupted something. They just performed coitus interruptus.
Chuck Norris does not need that. He can just stare and just go.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she was probably pregnant before he left the room.
Even though his boxers never left.
No.
Because that's Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I'm sure he's been in here all night with you. And they nod. And he's like, the general's like, how convenient. You leave tonight, and you be gone. And you stay gone, or you be gone.
But please, enjoy your tea party.
In fact, here is my chopper. You can tell your other lovely lady that you crashed your Honda.
Thank you, Zed.
And so, and it seems like Braddock's going to comply. He's going to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they take him to the airport the next morning.
He technically leaves Vietnam.
Yes, he does.
For
They take him to
Bangkok.
the airport. He gets on the plane, and a couple of those guards get on the plane, and they follow him to make sure he gets on the plane.
He does.
And they land.
And he doesn't go to America.
Land
he goes
in
to
Bangkok, and he gets off the plane, but does not get on another plane to go to America.
No. But there's someone that he knows in Bangkok that he wants to talk to.
Yes.
So he ends up at this little, again, it's Bangkok. I love how they just make Bangkok like this, the classic seedy underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I love that.
with sometimes.
I love that.
And he goes to this bar. The bartender's like smoking a cigarette. He's like, I need to know. I'm looking for somebody. And the guy's like, and he just gives him some cash, right? It's like, oh yeah, I might know who that is, and he wants to know where he is, and well, he needs to get more cash to find out where he is, right? And he tells him where he can find this guy, right? And this guy's name is
Tuck.
Tuck is an American living in Bangkok.
Yeah. So he tells him that Tuck will most likely be found at the local brothel.
And so Chuck Norris goes to the local brothel.
And he walks in there, and it's just full of naked people.
Yeah. And we can see why this would not have been PG even back in 1984.
Mm-hmm. But before he gets to the brothel, though, he gets into a little car chase.
Oh, that's right. He gets a little car
guards,
chase.
because those guards are still following him.
He does. They follow him.
And he spots them, and
I kind of wish Short Round would have shown up for this car chase.
Yes, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. You call him Colonel Braddock.
No time for love.
No time for love.
Anyway, he finally loses them, and they kind of crash these guys, and he's off to the brothel.
Mm-hmm. So he gets there, room's full of naked people, and he finds Tuck in bed with like was it 3 or 4 women?
I think it was 3. There might have been a 4th one in there somewhere.
And Tuck's like, "Hey, come on in, grab a girl."
Because that's the type of buddy Emmett Walsh is. Tuck is played by Emmett Walsh.
Yes.
And I love it. It's Emmett Walsh that is the one that's just... You look at him like, him?
Well, it is a brothel.
It's a brothel in Bangkok. I mean, come on. Yeah. Anyway. But Tuck has something that will be useful to Braddock. A boat.
Yes.
And Tuck also has other contacts that would be useful for Braddock. That will help him with guns and helicopters.
Yes.
And assault rafts.
Yes.
And so they go on a little adventure in Bangkok as they go procure the items that Braddock is looking
They go and they meet with Tuck's contact about the raft. And he's like, "Oh,
I love this."
And it's this big raft. He pulls a sheet off of it.
French guy.
It's got this cover on it. He pulls the sheet off and shows him, and it's this big reveal. It's this inflatable,
big reveal.
This inflatable, like military grade raft, and it's got an M60 mounted on it. And Braddock looks like he's like, that's not going to work. One bullet, it's going to deflate. And so the guy has his little henchmen, his buddies, just unload with their AKs on this thing.
And all this goes bouncing off.
Nothing penetrates it. And he's like, Kevlar, the same thing that's in your bulletproof vests. This thing's made out of Kevlar.
So now he is piqued.
Okay.
Braddock's interest. So he goes over and he
climbs on it.
Behind.
He climbs on it and he gets behind that M60 and he looks down.
And now they're going to negotiate.
And there's an ammo can next to the M60 that's full of ammo. So now it's negotiation time. And so as Braddock's talking to him, he reaches down, he opens up that ammo can, and he pulls that he pulls that chain of ammo out, that belt, and flips up the top of the M60, puts the loads it up and asks how much. And the guy's like, 20,000 American dollars. And Braddock's like, and the guns? He's like, oh, you buy the raft, I'll throw the guns in free.
But okay, yes, that part's reasonable, right?
So he's like, 5.
He's like, excuse me? 5?
Like, excuse me, 5? Yeah, 5. He's like, no, I can't do 5. 18. 7.
No. 15. 15.
And Braddock slowly turning this gun toward the guy.
Right?
And guy's like, 10. He's like, no. Like,
how about
8?
He's like, no, 9. Braddock, he's just like, not 9.
Oh. So I think they settle on 8.
Yes, something like that. And so now he has an assault raft.
And all the guns he'll need.
Yes. And one in particular that we will discuss later.
Yes. And he had also made a deal with a guy back at the bar about a long-range helicopter with a pilot he could trust.
So, and now we realize that while they've still been around Bangkok, General Bin's still been there, tracking what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so he's back in his room, and they're going to, they've discussed that they're going to leave soon, right? But when he gets back to his room, there is someone waiting there for him, kind of like the guy in Temple of Doom waiting for Indy when he gets back to his room.
Yep. But he's not waiting behind a curtain, behind a tapestry.
No.
He's waiting in an armoire.
Did he come from Narnia?
Maybe. So Braddock opens the armoire door and the guy jumps out at him.
How does it go for the armoire guy?
Not very well. He's trying to sneak attack Chuck Norris. It doesn't end well for him.
And we realize that there's other guys across the street. They're checking out what's happening with this, and after Chuck, Braddock dispenses of him, they shoot an RPG.
Yes, they shoot an RPG. Like they're across the street from him, hiding in this little doorway, and they fire an RPG at Braddock, who's like 20 feet away from him. he dodges it because he's Chuck Norris, and it hits the wall behind him and blows up, and there are some civilian casualties.
Yeah, because like it's the type of thing. Like, it's like a 2-story building. It has like a little hotel like rooms above it, and these other like shops below it, right?
And everybody else, everybody who's not like part of that explosion, kind of just acts like it's another day in Bangkok.
They do.
I mean, sure, there's some people freaking out and running around, but the majority of people there could just kind of just go about their business.
It's kind of like it falling down. Like, this is a drive-by shooting, but they mostly kind of ignore it. It's like, we have drive-by shootings. Most of them don't involve Michael Douglas. But still. So this ends up leading to this chase where, as he, because now he is racing to get to see Tuck.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuck has a kind of like a little first mate.
Yeah.
That goes with him on his boat, right?
Yep.
But these other guys, from Vietnam, they're chasing him, and Chuck is able, or Braddock is able to commandeer this large truck.
Yep. Yeah. So he gets this truck, and then some of the Vietnamese soldiers are like getting on it, Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
Yes, they are.
Like they're climbing on from the sides, trying to get up to where they can shoot Braddock.
Also does not go well for them.
No. The one guy that actually makes it up to the cab drops down onto the hood, and Braddock just hits the brakes.
Yeah. But most of the guys are in these cars. They get knocked into the water, or the bay, or the harbor, and their cars, right?
Yep. There's no Wilhelm scream.
No, there's no Wilhelm scream in this movie. It would have been funny the scene we're going to reference later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it would be.
So he gets on the Tuck's boat, and they ride off, and right. But as they're leaving there, we have General Vin. He's seen this, and now he's going to try to get a boat to follow them, right? They're riding along and on the river, the bay, where this body of water is, and Vin's kind of following along, and he's able to get onto the boat somehow in the middle of the night, right? And he thinks he's going to sneak up on Braddock.
No, he is wrong. He is wrong.
Yes, he is. One could say, dead wrong.
Yes. That would have been a good one-liner in this, but alas, it was not.
And so they have this scuffle ensues, right? And Vin has his choice is he's got this hatchet that he thinks he's going to dispatch Braddock with, right?
Hey, if his guys couldn't take him out with an RPG, how does he think he can take him out with a hatchet?
And they're able to, they kind of dislodge the blade of the hatchet from the handle, right?
Yes. They're just fighting with the hatchet head. They're just holding onto that and swinging at each other.
And because it's Chuck Norris, Braddock's finally able to kind of turn it around, and he just shoves it.
Yeah, he just shoves it like Thor and Thanos. He just shoves it into his chest. Just slowly just pushes it in there.
Like it's almost like the missing puzzle piece for General Vin.
Yes.
You were missing this. Here you go. And then that's obviously he drops dead, and they're able to continue their river cruise quite nicely.
Yes.
And the next day, like, they cross over. Like,
they
like,
call,
hey.
and The Rock and Emily Blunt show up in the boat next to him on their jungle cruise.
Bob Denver shows up. Anyway. But yeah, they finally cross over into Vietnamese waters, right? And
Yep.
and then we finally get to this point where, like, they reach this point where they're gonna Braddock's gonna get off, and Tuck realizes, you know what, he's too much into this now, and he's committed to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Braddock knew what was in Tuck's heart, that Tuck would never actually abandon him.
No.
Tuck
tells him, you need somebody to watch your back. You need somebody with the boat. Make sure it doesn't get taken.
This is part of the reason why that Braddock chose him. Not just because he has a boat, but he knows he's trustworthy.
Yeah. And he knew that Tuck would step up when the time came. Even though this whole time Tuck's like, "Oh, you're going to go in there by yourself. I'm not going to come with you. I'm going to stay back on my boat. I'm
enjoying my time hanging out in Bangkok brothels.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to hang out on my boat with my boys. You're going to go in and you're going to, rescue all the POWs.
Chuck Norris stuff.
And now at the last minute, Chuck is about to push off in his raft. And Tuck is like, wait, I'm coming with you. You need somebody to watch the boat. You need somebody to watch the raft.
So, he tells his little first mate there, like, to wait there.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and Braddock had told them, if I'm not back in 12 hours, leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so after Tuck gets on the raft, and he's like, hey, give us 14 hours. Because he doesn't want to get left.
And he realizes, sometimes best laid plans,
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Tuck has some military experience in his past.
Yep.
He might be living a certain direction now, but and we discover later, like, he definitely seems fairly skilled.
Yeah.
So, and so they get to this other point where they get off the raft, and Tuck's waiting there at the raft, and now Braddock's gonna start sneaking through the jungle. And it's not long after, like, he actually kind of, encounters a few soldiers kind of walking through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like three of them. And one kind of falls back behind a little bit, and the other two go forward. And that one falls back all of a sudden gets this tingling sensation that happens when Chuck Norris is around.
Yes. He gets this tingling sensation of a knife going through him. Not just any knife, but Chuck Norris's knife, which is an instant kill.
Yes.
If you even get scratched by Chuck Norris's knife, it's an instant kill.
Shooting Chuck Norris's room with an RPG is not an instant kill. But getting stabbed with his knife? No.
Going up against Chuck Norris is like going up against somebody who's playing his odd job in GoldenEye multiplayer.
Yes.
It's almost impossible to cause any damage to him.
I like how the other two guys just kind of don't even recognize that this guy's fallen behind and been murdered by Chuck Norris.
They're like, oh, Steve back there, he's always falling behind.
And so Chuck Norris, he's going to continue to the jungle now, being Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotta wonder if this is where they got the inspiration for Metal Gear Solid 3. When he's
it's possible
sneaking through the Vietnamese jungle. I guess maybe it's not the Vietnamese jungle that he's in. Or maybe it is. I don't know. He's sneaking through the jungle.
And he sneaks through. He encounters a few more soldiers. He dispatches these guys. Couple get suspicious, right? He dispatches those guys.
Yep. He's just dispatching guys left and right.
Right? He goes back to the raft. He sees Tuck again, and Tuck's ready. Tuck is ready. As soon as he hears it, like he's ready.
Well, first he gets to the camp. He gets to the prison camp.
He gets to the camp. That's right. Yes.
And so he doesn't go back to Tuck yet. He gets to the prison camp, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
And he cuts through the barbed wire fence.
I love how he just kind of just casually cuts through it. He's got a little wire cutter.
Yeah.
Right.
He cuts through the barbed wire fence.
Yep.
And he climbs in there. He starts setting C4 in different places.
He's doing stealthy.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Just putting C4
awesome.
all over.
It's awesome.
His camp. No one is none the wiser. Chuck Norris is just sneaking around.
Yeah. And he finds a group of POWs. And these ones aren't American. And he asks them where the Americans are.
Oh, is it? Oh, they knew you were coming, or they thought no. Yeah, they say they knew you were coming. Like
they moved them. They've already been transferred. Yeah, they're in a truck on their way, to this other camp. And so
doesn't he blow up like all the C4 before he discovers them?
Yes, yes, he does. He blows up the C4, and then he discovers the guys. He asks them where. Yeah, so
and
he blows up. So the guard tower goes up.
Ahead.
The main building blows up. All this, and he goes and he finds the soldiers that are there, the POWs. Asks them where the Americans are, and they're like, they're in this truck. They're on their way to another camp, and so he gets a hold of some of the Vietnamese guards' guns. It's like, here, you guys need to get out of here.
And they're ready to freedom fight these guys. Like, I don't know what their backstory is.
I want to see the movie about them.
I do too. This main guy that he's talking with, Chuck, like, I don't want to mess with this guy.
No. He's probably the Chuck Norris of whatever country he comes from.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah.
There's like an alternate ending of this movie where he just hang glides in and saves the day with an AK just mowing. Anyway.
Maybe. I would watch that movie.
I don't know. Chuck Norris just looks like, boy, am I glad I saved that guy.
So now Chuck Norris, Braddock goes back to Tuck, and Tuck has dozed off.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like, it was nighttime when like he's kind of going through this camp.
Yeah, it's been several hours.
We're back kind of like at dawn, right? Yeah, we're still within that 14-hour window.
Yep.
For Tuck.
But it's been several hours, and Tuck has dozed off. And so Braddock comes over and sort of signals to him, and he wakes up.
Yep. Wakes up.
And he's like, he does the whole, oh, I was awake the whole time. And he's like pointing his gun around and acting like he's watching. So they get on the boat. He tells them where they're supposed to go. So they get on the boat, on the raft, and they're going back. They're going down the river to try to beat this truck that is carrying the American POWs. And
they you know what? They do a good job of like catching up, considering that they left several hours prior.
Yeah,
and but it had to take time for Chuck to get back. I mean, Braddock to get back to the raft.
Yeah, and they're also trying to beat the Vietnamese soldiers from the camp that he just blew up, that are on their way to the truck with the Americans.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a twofold thing they're fighting.
But they make it up there. Braddock gets off the raft. He goes and intercepts the truck. Takes out the driver and the passenger and all the guards that are on the truck. And then he goes and opens at the back, and there's the Americans.
Right. And so the Americans, there's other soldiers back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of discover quickly, like, oh, someone's up there to help us. Like, and they're able to kind of fight against their captors in the back.
Yeah. So
and then Braddock opens the back of it, and they realize there's an American, and they're grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize
it wasn't just any American. Might be going it was Chuck
home.
Norris.
It's Chuck freaking Norris. Like, and there's no, I don't know. Like, you know, Bruce Willis might be the one other American they would see. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Everything's copacetic now.
Mm-hmm. Everything's copacetic.
Maybe Pauly Shore.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, they look like a bunch of guys that want to wheeze the juice.
Anyway. So they're all able to make it back to the raft. Right?
Well, and they're being chased by the guys from the camp.
Yes. And so they're having they're shooting at them. Like, it's basically like a whole firefight as they're trying to, they're being chased and getting towards that raft.
And they manage to outmaneuver them.
Also,
before crash their
right
truck.
Now they're kind of in two cars. Yeah. That's right.
So they sort of crash their truck into, this rock that's right by the river. And so they get out, but before they leave the truck, one of them, or is it Braddock, or was it one of the other guys that gets the grenade? Yeah, that's right. So Braddock, so that's right. Braddock sends them all to the raft, and he's like, "I'll be right with you, be right behind you." And he gets a grenade, and he pulls the pin on it and sort of wedges it.
Yep.
On the between the back bumper.
Back. Yep. And like this little rock or boulder that's there, and they kind of took like this turn, right? And the Vietnamese, they've come back and they realize that they probably turned down this little section. They come in.
They see Braddock heading toward the river, and so they turn down and they're not looking where they're going, and they slam right into the back of this truck.
Right as they blow up,
and that knocks that grenade loose, and it blows up, and their truck blows up, and they all die.
they just exploded. But they still have other people to worry about, right? Because they get to the raft, and Tuck is there, and they're on this river, and they're all just firing at each other, right? And they're trying to get to Tuck's boat on the raft.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then finally, there's this group on this one boat that's out there in the river. There's these three soldiers, and they fire, and they hit the raft.
This is that boat that Vin was talking about that he had.
Mm-hmm.
This is this armored boat that's out there with some Vietnamese soldiers on it that are shooting at them.
And and then everyone's on the raft, kind of. They get thrown off.
Yeah, so they blow the raft up.
Yep, and now thankfully none of our guys die. They just get thrown into the water.
This ship blows the raft up. Everybody gets thrown into the water.
The three people that are manning the guns on this boat, they think this is hilarious.
Yes, they do. No, I guess they don't blow up the raft just yet. They do knock everybody off the raft because Tuck is still on the raft
rather quickly.
Yeah, but they knock everybody off the raft and knock that M60 off of its mount.
Yes.
So the raft is now defenseless. And then comes quite possibly the greatest sequence, the greatest shot of any movie ever made.
It's hilarious because, again, like I said, these guys are laughing. They're laughing hysterically.
Yes.
This movie has been serious the entire time.
They're not going to be laughing for long.
Because all of a sudden they stop. The music changes,
and it shows the serene river, as if there wasn't a battle going on. It's just like just smooth, level water.
But it starts to ripple. And then he sees some tufts of hair emerge,
rising from this water as if on like an elevator coming up.
Yes,
because he's not crouched. He's not, he doesn't slowly uncrouch and stretch out his body.
He's just standing erect.
He's standing erect underwater and just rises up from underwater. Here comes Chuck Norris, just rising from the water. And, his head comes up, his shoulders come out of the water, and as it moves down his torso, you see he is holding the M60 from the raft.
We cut back to their faces, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, shit.
And he just mows them down with this M60. It goes in
slow motion. He's just going. You hear the shots fire, boom. Boom. The casings are just spewing up in the air.
Yes. And he just fans it back and forth along this boat.
There's three of them.
And he hits all three of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this scene.
It might be the greatest Chuck Norris scene.
It might be.
But they're not out of danger yet, though. As glorious as
Chuck Norris rising from the water with an M60.
He's still going to get the Tuck's actual boat.
Yeah.
And so
I guess the raft was blown up because Tuck gets on his boat, not the raft.
Oh, that's right. He has to get on his boat. Yeah, and his first mate's there, and now first mate's been firing at other people. His first mate gets shot. Right?
Yeah. So his first mate gets shot. There's a mounted gun on the boat, on Tuck's boat, and Tuck's in the water right now with all the American POWs.
Yes,
and he sees his first mate, who's manning the gun, get shot, and so Tuck swims up to the boat. He climbs on. I didn't think I'd ever see Emmett Walsh move this fast. Like he gets fast up there,
and he gets
on that gun and he starts shooting back.
He looks at Braddock. He's like, "I'll see you in hell," because he realizes this might be his last stand.
Because this boat, there were more than just those three guys on it. There were more people below deck.
Yep.
And so they come up and they start shooting at him. And
so helicopter we talked about earlier that he contracted, right now it's starting to come in.
It's starting to come in.
He can't get anywhere yet because there's all this firefights going on.
Mm-hmm. So it sort of comes over toward the edge of the river, and all the guys are climbing on. It lowers its rope ladder.
And Braddock is deciding. Tuck is deciding. You know what? He is gonna he is gonna cover them.
Yeah. So Tuck is gonna cover them while they climb up into the helicopter. So they're climbing up. All the soldiers are going up there. The POWs are going up there, and Braddock is waiting till they all get up. Then he grabs onto the last rung.
And as they're doing that, finally,
and they lift up
firefight,
and they lift Braddock up out of the water.
Tuck's boat, And you can see that like he's
Yeah.
like kind of killed in this. And
Yeah. So
he dies violently. He dies.
They hit the boat, and the boat just explodes.
Yeah.
It just blows up.
You know, I like this. Like, it would have been nice to see Tuck survive this after all this and be part of this heroic thing. But he dies violently. He dies the way he wants to die.
Yes, he does. Yeah, it's a very noble, valiant death.
Which is even better because he probably has syphilis or chlamydia.
Probably. Probably.
I didn't think that this would be the first time we would mention one of those two venereal diseases. Another movie might be.
Yes. I think I'll name my daughter Chlamydia.
Anyway,
will we talk about waiting? Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, I think Tuck has a proper death in this.
Yes, I think so too. Emmett
Walsh is such a really good choice for this role,
and
he plays it really, really well. I mean, he's part of this and helps round this out. To be on, like, again, like most of this movie is like super serious. I think he kind of helps just give enough levity to it.
Yep.
But like he's a serious character at the same time. Because Emmett Walsh is a brilliant character actor.
Yes, he is.
So we'll do other Emmett Walsh movies. So.
Yes, we will.
And we can talk about him then as well. So, but yeah, they were able to get up into the helicopter and fly away. And now you're thinking, like, okay, they're just going to maybe just... What are they going to do next? Where are they going to fly to?
Well, they're going to fly all the way to America in a helicopter.
In a helicopter. Because Chuck Norris is in it. Because you know what? You know how they refuel when Chuck Norris is on board?
He just pisses in the fuel tank.
Exactly.
And it's like putting liquid Schwartz in there.
Yes. No.
It'll take them faster than ludicrous speed.
They fly right back to Vietnam. They fly right back to center of Vietnam. They're back, really kind of more like their Supreme Court or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I love how there's pictures of Stalin and Lenin.
Yeah, and so it's basically this like I don't know, this hearing about these non-existent POWs.
Right.
In Vietnam.
And the very fact that they don't exist.
These supposedly non-existent POWs. And they're adamant about how these POWs don't exist. They're not there.
This guy looks like he's about to have an aneurysm.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's this upset about it.
Yes. He is like the mayor in Pleasantville.
There you go.
Right before he turns to color. right as he's going from black and white to color. Maybe we should do Pleasantville sometime. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Maybe.
Movie.
Yeah.
But anyway. So all of a sudden, the back doors of this courtroom open up.
Because they land like right in front of this building. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They just start they run in.
Yeah, they just come right off the chopper. And they just walk right in. The doors, burst open. Chuck Norris comes walking through, followed by...
He's carrying one of these guys.
Yeah, he's carrying one of the guys.
Walk because this guy's probably been chained up for years. He really lose his legs at this point.
And then all these other POWs come up behind him. All these other former POWs now, because he rescued them. All these other soldiers come walking up behind him.
And it freeze frames. And John Candy.
Yes. John Candy comes out of nowhere.
Because we realize this is actually directed by John Hughes.
Yes. Yes.
No. It freeze frames.
And it turns out that this big hearing is being held in Chicago.
They got some deep dish.
But no,
some Vienna beef.
He and the guys busted into the hearing, and it freeze frames on Chuck Norris carrying this dude and all these others behind him. Right after they so adamantly said these POWs don't exist.
Here they are.
Here they are.
And it ends. The credits roll. And we don't actually know what happens. Maybe they kill them all.
Maybe. Or maybe, they convinced them that, yes, there was a POW camp that was still around.
And what happens in Vietnam at this
Braddock
point?
just rescued all of these POWs. He rescued not just the American POWs, but he rescued the others too. Or rather, helped them to rescue themselves.
Because that's how Chuck Norris goes. Mm-hmm. That's how he rolls.
Yes.
But that's how it ends. Just like right there.
Right there.
It feels like it's always going to be more dramatic. It just ends just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of like.
It's freeze frames right there.
Kind of simple like that.
Yep.
And that's it. And again, it's a type of movie. Again, it's a Chuck Norris movie, but it's a little different than what we've covered, right? It's a movie about POWs and Vietnam lingers on it, and for a long time, Vietnam was a heavily influenced movies in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
But yeah, it's a great Chuck Norris movie.
It really is, and it has one of the best sequences of any movie ever made. How does he rise up out of the water like that?
I don't know.
How does he just rise up just straight up? He wasn't crouched.
No, he was standing straight.
He had to have been standing on a platform or something like that they raised up.
Well, yes.
It's
anyway, it's a fun movie.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty short movie too.
It is.
So it's again
about an hour and 41 minutes or so.
Problems, but overall it moves along pretty nicely. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again. I think it fits well with our theme of doing Chuck Norris movies here. So I'm glad we decided to do a second one.
Me too. And the music was great in it too. We didn't mention that, but the music it fit perfectly.
It did. It did.
But anyway, that's Missing in Action. Great movie. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it.
I do too.
And if you have seen it, I highly recommend watching it again.
Do it again. Because it's been a while since we saw it. And are we regretting watching it again?
Nope.
No.
Not at all. And I would like to watch it again. Another time.
Yes.
And even a time
So
after
watch
that.
Lone Wolf McQuade and then watch Missing in Action.
They are really good back to back.
They would be good back to back.
They are excellent back to back. But anyway, so if you enjoy what you're hearing, then go ahead and check out our social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. It is Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out. A&D. It's 99% like the name of the podcast. We're also on X or Twitter. It is R&T Cinematic. And you can also check out our Letterboxd. So you can check out some of our reviews that we've done on movies, some we have done on the podcast, some we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. That is Cine Adventure, or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. And send us an email. Let us know what you thought of Missing in Action. Should we do more Chuck Norris movies? I think we should.
I think we should too.
But yeah, so did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on Missing in Action? We want to hear from you. And that is, you can email us at robandtonyscinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out. A-N-D, it's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. But go to our social media, give us a like and a follow, give us, comment on our page, all that. Go to your favorite podcast app wherever you're listening to us. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the rankings and in the search and the recommendations, all that stuff on all those apps and websites. Because we want to be able to reach as many ears as possible.
Yes, we do.
We love talking about these movies, and we hope that we are bringing you satisfactory conversations about them.
I hope so.
But anyway, so next time, Tony.
Yes.
I'm not done talking about Chuck Norris yet.
No, you mentioned just like a minute ago, like you want us to do Chuck Norris movies. I thought, you know what, Rob, we should do more Chuck Norris movies.
More Chuck Norris movies. So let's turn this Chuck Norris tribute, this 2-movie tribute, into a trilogy, into a little
good things
Chuck Norris miniseries.
Good things never come in 2s; they always come in 3s.
Yes. So next time we have yet another Chuck Norris movie to round out this trilogy, this miniseries, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it, yes.
Let's talk about Invasion USA.
Invasion USA. I'm excited to do this because it's Chuck Norris.
It is. And this is a Chuck Norris movie I have
one
not
of his most
seen.
iconic poses.
Yes, one of his most iconic poses, and it is a movie that I have not seen, and I am really excited to watch it.
Yes. It was so much fun talking about Lone Wolf McQuade, which we had never watched either.
Yeah.
That was so much fun last week. And so I'm excited because
we have not seen this one either.
A total of 5 minutes of this movie, and I want to watch all of it.
Yeah.
And I want it to be glorious.
Oh, it will be. I'm sure it will.
And I know it will be good. It's Chuck Norris.
Yeah. So yes, we've got one more Chuck Norris movie that we're going to talk about, and it is Invasion USA. So if you're not sick of Chuck Norris yet, then awesome. If you are sick of Chuck Norris, hang in there for one more.
Hang in. You got it. We believe in you.
It'll come around.
It'll come around. That's right.
It'll come back around.
That's right. You're correct, sir.
So, join us next time for Invasion USA.